Stellaris is a complex game, but having a good start can set up your empire to dominate the galaxy and complete your goals in-game. In this video, I'm going to show you every single click for the first 20 years of the game that I generally use to get off to a great start in every single one of my videos and challenges. There will be tips and tricks for beginners and more advanced players. This will also become an every single click series for my $5 tier members, where we'll try and defeat all crisis at 25 times. So the end will be 200 times if we get there. This first episode is free and a teaser for what you can expect from the series, and if you enjoy it, episode 2 will already be live. It's greatly appreciated and none of the other content is going anywhere. This is an addition to what I already upload. Now let's get on with the video. So here we are on the menu. We are playing on Stellaris 4.0.16. Patches have kind of slowed down. If you're watching this in the future, things should be quite similar unless there's a big patch change. We're going to go ahead and click new game. And if this is the first time you're playing, you will have no custom empires and you'll be greeted by the screen. If you have played before, you might have some custom empires, but don't worry, we're just going to play as the United Nations of Earth. We'll look more in depth at what everything is doing when we get into the game. What I am going to do is click edit and then name lists, put my members name list on this empire. You don't need to do this, it's just to show you every single click I'm doing. I'm going to then click done. If this is your first time playing, I would recommend clicking reset to default, but my settings are going to be Grand Admiral, medium-sized galaxy, as I don't often play on medium, with Starburst for the same reason. You can click any galaxy shape you want, I just don't often play Starburst. I've lowered the hyperlane density down a bit, I like choke points. Then we've got max AI and max full empires. Settings can be greatly customized to create galaxies and games that you enjoy, and this is what I enjoy. We're then going to do all crises at 25 times strength. That won't be in this video, but this is going to be part 1 of a complete, unless I die, every single click playthrough for my $5 tier members on YouTube and Patreon. However, this episode is obviously free for you all. But if you do enjoy this, consider joining the members, as part 2 will already be live, and then I will be uploading an episode for members every single week. We're then playing with mid-game scaling, normal AI aggressiveness, default growth, slightly faster tech and tradition. I have slowed it down compared to my regular videos at 0.75, normal difficulty adjusted tech costs, default on everything else, as you can see. We then even got default game length, but I've turned victory year off. We'll win when we defeat all the damn crisis. Everything else here is default with 2 marauders, and then the rest of the settings default. Customize it how you like, but let's click play. When we start the game, we are met with this summary screen showing the origin. The origin is how our empire starts and may give us a few buffs, like giving us 400 extra pops, an extra couple districts, prosperous unification modifier for more happiness, amenities and resources from jobs, and then planetary unification as a guaranteed research option. It also gives you a bunch of lore, because with the UNE, it's a custom written lore, which is quite cool, but essentially Earth has become united and we've gone to the stars. We're going to click begin. We can now see Earth. Look at it in all its glory. Now, there's a lot to go over, but I like to break it down a little bit into first steps before we even click play. First, let's click on the galaxy map and look at our spawn. This is quite nice as 2 planets are behind us and we can see some of the choke points that we're going to expand to. If we hover over the planets, we can see what they are. This is a continental world size 18, which means 18 districts can be built on it. And then we have a desert world size 16. If we look at our Earth, over here, we can see it's a continental world, but for more further information, if we come over to species, then hover over the planet preference, you can see continental worlds get 80% habitability. Habitability is important because if we don't get 100%, we get some negatives on the planet. Because of that, I'm not going to survey the desert world first, I'm going to survey the continental world first. What is surveying? Well, if we click the science ship, then right click on Alpha Centauri, and survey, we will survey the system. If we click on our construction ship and then right click on Alpha Centauri, we can't actually build the outpost because it's not fully surveyed. Next up is more of an advanced tip. Well, we're going to click on our military fleet, then we're going to click on split. We'll have 2 fleets here, but the one corvette has our leader Elizabeth Belverde. We're going to select that on the right here, and then we're going to click and go and explore. Now, if we click on this empty military ship and we try and click into the unknown space, we can't, because we need a science ship with a scientist or a military fleet led by a commander. This just basically lets us get more information, which is key early game. We've got those set up now. Let's look at our texts, which are shouting at us up the top. I'm going to click physics research, and I'm always going to take research buildings. These are insanely important because it gives +1 physics research per 100 physicists. This means your empire is just more efficient, and then it also gives you 200 physicist jobs. We're going to click that. Then we're going to look at society. We got the xenobiological lab. We are going to take that. And then engineering, we can do the triple and select that. Now, I've just made a quick save. If you want to play along with this exact save, it will be linked in the Discord. I forgot to do it before I clicked some buttons, so up until this point I've already clicked for you, but you could reset them if you want to select them. Next up, we're going to come over to market and add a new monthly trade. We need minerals to start building in our empire, so we're going to spend some of the excess trade that we have at the top here into minerals. Let's buy 20, should be decent. Then we're going to come over to Sol Station, Shipyard, and we may as well start building this colony ship straight away, since we can afford it. This colony ship will then instantly get sent off to Alpha Centauri to settle. That's everything that we can do off the start, which is going to be pretty much the same for all your empires. Now, what do the rest of the things that we could have chose for the empire do? We have Fanatic Egalitarian, which gives us faction resource output and specialist pop output, which is going to be nice on our planet in economy. All these specialists just get 10% more output, which is science, unity, trade, consumer goods, alloys. It's pretty good. Xenophile will give us more trade, which again is pretty nice. As you can remember, we were using trade to buy minerals. We then have civics. This civic, for example, is giving us 15% monthly unity, which is pretty nice. We're getting a bunch of unity there. I will go over what we do with unity in a bit. Less empire size from pops, which again is very nice, as if we go 100 empire size, we'll have to start paying more for techs and traditions. We then get one less smuggle pop operation difficulty, which is an espionage operation we can do on another empire. We then get a councillor position for more egalitarian ev extraction. Idealistic foundation just gives us 10% happiness, and a council position gives us less amenity usage. Happiness just means we need less amenities and we'll get more stability, which stability then gives us more resources from jobs. The higher it is over 50%. So let's click play. I'm going to use spacebar to do that. You can click up here, and there's not too much to do, so I will go fastest here until we take over the month. So I can pause. Monthly trade went through, as this happens at the end of every month. We're still +6 on trade, but we're starting to gain minerals. Now, if we come over to the planet, I'm aiming for a specific building, the Autogon Monument. This is because it will give more unity from jobs, unity per 100 civilians, 0.5, but a consumer good upkeep. That consumer upkeep is fine, but also importantly, we get extra effects from our ethics. Trade is from egalitarian. Governing ethics extraction, I believe we always get. Then pop upkeep reduction is from xenophile. This is important because if we come over to economy, you can see we have 1.8 thousand civilians. So getting them to produce trade unity is just going to really help until we can actually put them to work. Now, if we did come over to species and then set species right, and then living standards, we could give them utopian abundance, which means we get 20% happiness and civilians produce unity and research points. However, the consumer good upkeep is 1 for all. At the minute, it's 0.25 for civilians and workers and 0.5 for specialists. I don't think we can afford utopian abundance, and this is from us being egalitarian. If you were materialist, you could get academic privilege, which would give 10% job efficiency for researchers. We're going to keep playing. We just want that monument to start with. We're not going to use our construction ship to build on the resources here, as the building is far more important to start getting down. We'll keep monitoring our military ship. You can see Sirius has been found a continental world, so we can actually click on our science ship, hold shift, survey Barnard Star, and then Sirius. So now we have an order of operations, so it can be done as efficient as possible. We want to survey in a straight line, because if you skip a system, you'll pay more influence for Sirius, but then you're probably going to want Barnard Star, so you're paying more overall. You may as well construct and survey in a line. Now we're going to send our construction ship to Alpha Centauri ready to build the outpost there, and we do get contact report, simple forms of life. We can either embrace the bonds of new life for some society research, or diversity enrich our collective wisdom. We can get hyperlane breach points, which I don't really care too much about. Let's just get some flat society research, which goes towards our xenobiological lab. Now our species also start with traits, giving us more habitability, less resettlement cost, but then more pop consumer good upkeep. There's a whole host of traits you can select at the start of the game. Habitability is okay, resettlement cost doesn't really matter, and wasteful is quite a bad negative, as consumer goods are hard to come by. It looks like it's fine at the minute, but we're going to be putting a lot into science, which has a huge consumer good upkeep. Now this military ship has finished the orders we set it. So let's keep going and explore. We want to find more planets, more choke points to expand to. The only issue is they might run into an enemy. If they do, we'll need to try and stop them. Now we have our first tradition pop up at the top here. If we click it, we get to the tradition page. There's a lot you can do here, but when you click select, you can see all the traditions you can select in the game. Now, to make it more simple, there are a few that are very good early game. You can go discovery. This lets you survey quicker, have more research alternatives, reduce your researcher upkeep, and if you finish it, you get 10% research speed. There's also prosperity, which gives more mining station output, less planetary infrastructure costs and quicker build time, more resources from jobs, less upkeep from jobs, and less upkeep. This is basically for your economy, whereas discovery was for your science. I also really like to go statecraft, as you can get 150 experience per skill level whenever you launch an agenda, which stacks up quite quickly. As if we come over to government and look at what the councillors do, our ruler per level gives us 2% faction resource output and 5 edict fund. Researcher gives us 2% per level. Not to mention they then get skills which also apply when they're on the council, like 5% experience gain. It's pretty nice. It also increases council agenda speed, which self-synergizes, gives more effective council skill, makes the council agendas last longer, and it will reduce empire size by 5%, which will be really nice late game. This is the sleeper pick that I pick a lot in my videos, and that's why. Now, a new one in 4.0 that might be a must on a lot of empires is mercantile, as trade per civilians goes up, and amenities with a little bit of a consumer good upkeep. But then you have adaptive economic policy, which allows you to change what your trade is producing. At the minute, it's giving us energy, but you could change it into consumer goods or unity. You could also then get 10% more trade, less market fee, more trader jobs, and just a flat 10% monthly trade. Again, this is quite good. Between those four, it really depends what you're going for. I'm going to go ahead and experiment with taking mercantile first, since we have so many civilians. So I'm going to take that mercantile, adopt it, and also we have enough minerals if we come over to the planet, the building slot, to build the monument. I should have started building this a while ago. That's a bit of a misplay. Let's start building that. We have found our first contact in this massive galaxy. Look how cool it looks. We can tell by this icon that it's going to be some sort of NPC, and I know this is actually going to be the science enclave because it's blue. If we click on first contact, we can then click the envoy and then assign a contact to it. But keep the military ship exploring. Colony ship just got finished. We're going to send it to Alpha Centauri, ready to inhabit the colony as soon as possible. And we're actually going to come over to our shipyard and build another science ship. We need to explore and find where we're going to expand to. It's very important early game. You want to beat the AIs to the planets. Science ship's done. Let's click on the science ship, click on the leader, and assign a leader. Now, Walter here as a Spark of Genius leader trait, giving us 3% research speed. We are going to take him, hire him. It's currently not doing anything because he's not on the council. So let's come over to government, council, and then replace Ferris Manus with Walter here. Now we're going to be getting that 3% research speed, which is very nice. We come over to tech. You can see we have 5% research speed at the moment. This gives a percentage extra based on the research you already have. We're only at 49. It's quite slow to begin with, but it's fine. Let's make Walter auto explore by clicking on automation, uncheck survey, and explore. This is quicker than serving, as they will just go to each system, but we can actually then see if there's a planet there. As you can see, this military ship just found a relic world, which is pretty nice. We will want that. First contact event pending. We will proceed with that. It will just go through. You will have to keep clicking those, and they might have different levels of events. Click what you want. I tend to try and stay friendly because I don't want the AI to come and kill me. We found even more planets. This is why information is key. But tradition's done. Let's unlock adaptive economic policies by selecting that. And now we actually have to change that. If we come over to government, policies and edicts, and then down to trade policies, you can see we're on wealth creation, which is giving us 50% of our trade income into energy. However, we could make consumer goods or unity. I want to do the unity. Unity sucks for us at the minute. Let's change our trade into unity and hope that goes well. You can see on our capital, the monument has finished. We come over to economy, scroll down. We are now producing 93 trade and 16 unity. This should update when we go to the next month. Yep, 69 trade, and we're up to 74 unity. If we were materialists, these civilians would be giving us science as well. This is great early game. We're not going to rely on it and make our economy around it. And since we're not building anything, let's build a city district. This city district is going to give us jobs based on our zones that are here. The archives per district will give us physics, biologist, engineer, and bureaucrat jobs, and the mixed industry will give us meticulous and artisan jobs. So city districts is quite strong, especially since our basic resources are fine. Now, with all that trade, I'm going to come over to the market and buy the max amount of minerals, which is 42 before inflation kicks in. You can join my Discord. We have that pinned in the Stellaris channel for each resource, energy being the same as minerals and food. I'm also going to buy some alloys, as we're going to want to get our alloys going. Speaking of alloys, if we come over to the Sol Station and then command, we have building slots. Now, this building crew quarters reduces dock ship upkeep, which is pretty nice, but we only have 2 ships. Why don't we switch to a hydro bay to produce us 10 food with an upkeep of 1 energy? We have a lot of food. We can sell the food if we need to. Now, we do have the agenda ready. Let's launch it. Happiness goes to 10%. And let's click the agenda list. I'm going to go for monthly Unity because Unity seems quite strong. This has turned into a kind of a Unity build, which goes well with Beacon of Liberty with a 15%. Okay, this planet system is quite big, but we're almost done saving it. And that sounds very bad. Our science ship just ran into an enemy. That's not great. It did survive. Let's do the first contact. They're hostile. That could be quite bad. It's fine. We're going to keep the military ship moving and exploring. We're probably going to want to expand up this way as there's 4 planets there for us. Now, they did just go into a system with a red enemy. 4.8 thousand versus 55. That's 55. Let's run away. We don't have to engage that. Run back there. Yep, they're coming for us. Run. Run, 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 run. They did survive. We do another tradition. We are then going to give our civilians even more trade, which means more unity. Yeah, this is going to go a little bit crazy. We're now up to 123 trade. We're producing a nice, healthy amount of unity. And we found another first contact, which we're just going to assign an envoy to. There's no negative to doing that, really. So, Alpha Centauri's fully surveyed. Science ship is now serving Barnard's star that we queued up before. Let's construct here, get that starbase going. Now, I've ignored Procyon because it's a desert world. We can't really inhabit that, especially at 100% habitability like Alpha Centauri and Sirius. So we're going to go for those first. We're just going to make sure we're constantly building here. We definitely want to build these when we can, but they're taking so long because our science sucks. So we're just going to keep building city districts as much as we can. Alpha Centauri is done. We've expanded our first outpost. I'm going to click inside Alpha Centauri and click on the starbase here. We're definitely going to want to upgrade this when we can. We don't have the alloys for it, so we can get more hydro bays like we built before. But now we can use our colony ship, right click on Alpha Centauri and colonize. Off he goes. With the construction ship now, we have a bit more minerals, so I'm going to start building the mining stations and research stations on both our systems, and then we can grab Barnard Star and Sirius. I have another tradition available. Let's get 10% more trade because that means more unity. If we tick over, it went down. I don't know why. So we have some level ups. Let's click them. We have our ruler, Dolores Moanga. We have 3 options here: XP gain, pop growth and food, or happiness. Pop growth is key. Pops are your key resource. You can see how many pops you have by hovering over empire size. We have 5.2 thousand. The more pops we have, the more civilians we're getting, which is more trade and unity, but the more jobs they can work. Everything is about pop management. So Kerbo here, governing from Earth, also has 2 agendas they can pick from. Let's go for cancel agenda speed. We can stack that in government and just pop more of these powerful agendas, like getting 40% unity. It's pretty good. But this colony, we can either get energy and xenophile ethics attraction or food and egalitarian. Neither of these matter too much. They're worth the same, and food's giving us more, so we'll go for that one. Now have enough alloys to click on Alpha Centauri's starbase icon here and upgrade the starbase. If we come over to government, policies and edicts, we can click fortify the border, which will give us starbase capacity and starbase upgrade speed. This is 8 unity, but because we have 20 edict fund and we're at below the 20, we're not actually eating into our unity, which is very nice. We have another level up. Ferris is serving, so let's give him level 2 serving. You just kind of pick what works for what they're doing. So Walter's back from getting almost murdered. Let's click auto explore again. Hopefully he's not scarred from what he saw. This military ship was doing nothing for a little bit. I sometimes forget to do that. You can min-max this more, but it's fine. We're getting more information than we would have otherwise. Habitable surveys. Let's actually do this because we have a lot of planets, as you can see. We could get a little bit of boost of a unity, but the rewards for doing this event chain outweighs the quick unity, and we're in it for the long haul in this game. So our first city district is about to finish. If we come over to economy, you can see all these numbers will boost up a little bit. Unfortunately, we don't have too many scientists, so our tech just kind of sucks right now. We're going to try and fix that, but it's quite a slow technology start, as you can see. And there's a lot of first contacts over here. However, we don't have the envoys to do them, so we will save that for later. Another level up, we'll just go for happiness since they're on the council. Now we all have council traits just giving us some bonuses, which is very nice. Another tradition available. Let's get amenities per 100 traders, and we get more trader jobs. This means the trader jobs from the commercial zone, we're just getting a few more, from 200 to I think 300, which means a bit more unity. Now consumer goods are fine. I'm going to make a play and set species rights to utopian abundance. We need the research, okay? I'm greedy, we're going it. This could be wrong. Our civilians are now giving us 27 science and a bit more unity. That helps, I think, quite a bit. We are negative 21 consumer goods. We'll keep building city districts, which will give us consumer goods, but we can cure this a little bit by buying consumer goods. Might have to hold off on the minerals and sell some food, but this is a greedy play, but I think we can afford it. Let's see. Yeah, it's kind of balancing out. We're going to get some city districts. It's going to be fine. Don't worry. We're up to 84 science now. South of Centauri's done building. Let's come over to it and look at the modules and buildings. On the modules, we can build a shipyard to make ships, anchorage to give us more naval capacity, which we'll get onto in another video, I think. Gun batteries for defense, solar panels will give us energy, and trade hubs will give us trade. Now remember, our trade gives us unity, so let's build those because that seems very strong. On the buildings then, we'll build a hydro bay for food, which we can sell, which we're doing. And we can't actually go above the 21 consumer goods as that's the max until inflation. To be honest, we can build more. To be honest, we can buy max minerals and probably max alloys, to be honest. So we've gotten to Sirius. Let's survey up to these other planets. Construction ships slowly falling behind, grabbing those resources. It's going well. The negative numbers are not scary because we do have 544. This is fine. Don't worry. Another tradition available. We can finish mercantile, reducing market fee by 10%, which is going to help us a lot since we're buying so much. But finishing it gives us 10% monthly trade. More unity again. We also get an ascension perk, which can change up how your empire runs. We're going to take a tech ascendancy for that 10% research and bigger chance to rare resources. It's very nice. So you can see we are setting the foundations. We're up to 15% research speed. These months look a lot better. We're just spamming city districts. Now we can't actually build any more as we have some blockers. So if we come over to management, you can see we have 3 blockers blocking us from building some districts. The best one to clear first is sprawling slums as it creates 100 pops. That's pretty nice. Okay, we can soon to get Sirius. Let's start building that colony ship for Sirius so it's ready in time. It just speeds it up a little bit rather than waiting for them. Rather than waiting for us to get it and then build the colony ship, we can prepare in advance. And we got someone else on Sparkle Genius 2. 6% research speed. Yes, please. Another city district's going to go down, meaning we're up to 100 on each researchers. Some more consumer goods. We're up to +2. Everything's fine. It's all fine. And this is a mess of a cluster. There's so much going on here. What the hell? But we can get Sirius, so we'll queue up Barnard Star first and then Sirius. And this military ship is going crazy at finding people. Thank you so much. Whenever your science ship on auto explore runs into an enemy, it will cancel. It's very annoying. We just have to keep doing auto explore. It's just how it is, unfortunately. And we can get another tradition. What do we select? Now, again, I think the second tradition can be the ones we mentioned. Maybe supremacy if you're going aggressive, or unyielding if you're scared and want to get a bunch of star bases to turtle up. I am quite confident. I want that XP gain on launching agendas. I want our leaders to be great. So let's go statecraft for that. So our trade hub is up and running. It's producing a 16 trade and 10 food for free. No jobs being worked. That's why it's so good, because you just get those resources, and it's how you might see more advanced players get their economy going much quicker. You utilize star bases, and we've got 3 more that we can get. So let's get this construction ship going and get those damn star bases. Colony ship's done. Let's send them over to Sirius, ready to colonize. And Alpha Centauri Prime is done. It's a blank slate. What do we make it into? Well, we can see we've got subterranean wildlife, giving us society research to miners and max mining districts. It's pretty nice. Lush, giving us more habitability, more food from jobs. And egalitarianism promoted. That doesn't really matter. That's from the choice we made earlier. This looks like a great basic resource world then. We can actually look at what Sirius is when we're over it to see if that's better at one of these, but at the very least we're going to make this into a mineral world, as minerals will be quite important. Build the minerals. So the city district's almost done. Bit more tech, consumer goods alloys, and we're getting that sprawling slums cleared. Now I'm on the fence with the medical center. I don't think the medical center itself is very good, but the upgrades are actually quite good, especially if you go biogenesis. So we're not going to build that yet. However, I could be wrong. It's good for the roleplay. I don't think it's the best mechanically straight away. So we got those pops built. We can build another city district. So that's what we're going to do. We are just trying to make this into basically a tech, Unity, consumer goods, alloy world at the start of the game. And something great you can do on your new planet, Alpha Centauri Prime, is build a luxury resident. This will give you 2,500 amenities, but more importantly, it means you can stop working the colonist jobs, which I believe are giving you some stability or amenities or something. Like if we get rid of them all, we lose a bunch of amenities, but we will keep them deselected anyway and build luxury residents and minerals. Okay, since our survey ship is going ahead and going towards those planets, we're going to follow behind with our construction ship. We don't have the influence. This will happen. We could fix that with alloys, but it's fine for now. Let's just move there for now and use our colony ship to colonize on Sirius. Yes, I am. I'm very serious. So what did Sirius actually have? A lot of mineral and food, but that's fine. We're definitely going to want to turn this either into science or consumer goods to help with the civilians and the amount of consumer goods we're going to need for all the science we're going to get. So we did get another tradition available. We could grab the XP when we launch an agenda, but if we come over to our government, we're nowhere near getting this agenda. So let's actually give us 25% cancel speed, and by the time we can get the XP, we can launch the agenda. And also get pre-sapience, that's fine. Planet-wide machinery on UNE 3. That's on the relic world. Now, I'm kind of skipping over the lore and flavor text just to show you the mechanic of the start. But if in the series you want me to go more over lore, or maybe in future series, let me know. But we have found our first contact, the Creator Order, which gives us 30 influence, which is why you want to do those first contacts as well, as if you're the one to initiate contacts, you get influence, which is used for expanding. And we found the Creator Order. Well met. Now, if we come over to contacts and then diplomacy with the Creator Order, they can actually aid us in our research. We're going to click that, and then we will purchase the service to get 5% research speed for 5% upkeep. This is worth it. I will pay anything for more tech, and we're just going to say goodbye to them. We're now up to 25% research speed. We're getting close to finishing these damn techs. Once we can actually build these buildings too, our research should skyrocket, and we should actually be able to research technologies quicker than once every, what, 7-8 years? Early game tech is slow, and it's why I normally play at 0.5 tech cost. Now, we have two systems. We need to make those damn star bases to get our economy going even more, so let's do that. We have the alloys saved up. You can notice our economy is going so well, and we're buying 42 minerals, 10 alloys, 21 consumer goods, and we're selling 50 food. That's because our civilians are producing us 124 trade. Now, a trade might dip down as we start building more jobs, expanding to other planets, but that's fine, because we can actually stop buying as many minerals since we're getting a mineral world going. It all adds up. Now we can actually start expanding again because we got a bit more influence, and we do have a free envoy, so let's do the first contact near us. I think that's a good idea. Construction ship, go and explore again, and we have found what is an aggressive empire. At least we've found kind of where their roots are, I guess. We'll keep going. So after the city district's done, we're going to have to clear another block up. We will queue that up. May as well queue both up just in case I forget. And since we don't have the influence to keep expanding, we'll just construct on these star bases or star systems. I sometimes forget what things are called. Star bases are done. We're going to do exactly the same. Give us trade, give us food. This basically means when our civilians are gone, at least we're still producing some trade elsewhere to use for Unity and buying things off the market. There is an asteroid, that's not great, over Alpha Centauri. Let's send the freebooters, the fleet that we left at home, to go and deal with that. Hopefully the starbase starts firing on it. Maybe not. We don't want it to land on Alpha Centauri. That's pretty bad. But destroying it will give us a bunch of minerals, which is going to be very nice. Tradition available again. How close are we? Evolving society. Not too close, but let's just go for it, as we will get council skill. May as well now. And we can see our corvettes are now trying to blow up this meteor, and hopefully it kills it before it hits our planet. It should. If not, I cry. We're going to just let that happen. We finally finished some techs. That's pretty good. Let's go for planetary unification for 5% monthly unity. It's very nice. Engineering, let's grab worker pop output. Powered exoskeletons also pushes us towards robotics, which is going to be really good. We want to assemble pops as much as we can, and assembling pops to work for us will be very useful. Now we'll come over to our capital, and on archives, we'll build the materials workshop and the xenobiological lab. We'll put industrial wasteland to the bottom by holding shift and click, as we don't need to clear the blocker at the minute, and those should be built. We'll get +1 per 100 or 140, but this is also giving us 200. Our tech's going to go probably double once we get all the buildings down. It's going to be nice. So on our second planet, Alpha Centauri Prime, let's set this designation by clicking on colony designation and give it a mineral, as it will give more miner output and quicker build speed. Now, something I am tempted by is actually getting our pops up to 1,000 here, as pops grow quite slowly because we have low pops, as you can see here. So if we come over to government, policies and edicts, and allow resettlement, we can now actually resettle pops from Earth by going over to economy, clicking play because it didn't save, and then we can start settling some of these civilians over. Cost energy, that's fine. What are we up to now? 690. You can see we're getting plus 0.59 now. Or you can actually have this on the side. We're going to stay at 990. I don't want to move another 100 over. This is going to decrease our economy a little bit because the civilians are no longer working. But what I want to do is actually probably make this minerals plus consumer goods, as this will cure the deficit that we have. We just actually need the minerals to do so. So I'm just going to wait, and we can build that civilian industry. We'll put these civilians to work good and proper. This meteor is slowly dying. We're not going to just watch that. The scientist ran into trouble again. Explore, and this military ship can go explore up here, I guess. So we should be able to keep expanding again. We're just lacking the influence. We really need to get those first contacts done. And we can build our 5th and final starbase until we get more capacity, which will help out a bunch, because these trade hubs are just giving us a bunch of resources. You can see from starbases we're gaining 52, which is not a low amount. Same here, we're gaining 40 food. It's very nice. The High Kingdom of Sarah Kajal. They are a xenophile fanatic militarist. Please be friends with us. Let's do the friendly option. We found xenolinguistics, which is a technology that gives more first contact speed and more influence. That could be very good. And we found the Donovan Assembly. Again, please be friends. And the Snugglefish Shipping Alliance. Please be friends. They are YouTube member and Patreon Submitted Empires, and they are a federation. They will embassies. Yes, please. We want to be friends with them. Field Dynamic Center's done. Perfect. Let's get that research speed. We need to get our tech going, and then we can queue up the Field Dynamic Center. Materials Workshop's about to be done. We're on 26 engineering, and it goes up to 49. Like, that's how huge those buildings are. We can now actually start getting technologies quicker. I can't wait. We did destroy the asteroid, giving us 1,000 minerals. That's actually very nice. We can upgrade our building. We may as well. And we're actually getting, I believe, maximum pop growth now. 1.24 from pops. What's a caps one? 4. I think there is a balance that you want. The more pops you have, the more they grow. We're getting them to 1,000 as quickly as possible. It's very nice. And we've got a new world. We're going to want to make this tech. We need tech. Lots and lots of tech. Let's make a research enclave there. And we should probably keep doing envoys, which we're already doing, while we slowly expand. It's just influence. We need influence. Tradition's done. We'll get effective counselor skill. That means we're getting like plus an extra 1 on the head of research here. And also governors get buffs to resources per level. We're getting 2% per planet governor effect, and that just goes up an extra 1. More XP gain. Oh, this is a tough one. Ship build speed or more unity? I don't really care about ship build speed too much. Let's get the unity. Gonna help us way more. And fill up this last starbase we got. And we just want to keep building on all planets. Society research has now gone up to 47 as well. We're up to 150 tech. We can actually start getting through techs, which buff up our economy even more, and we can start snowballing. We've gotten to this pre-FTL. Where do we expand to now? That's the question. We probably want to get to this choke point to block off this empire. So let's go survey down here and here. and keep building, grabbing some more planets. We did just finish powered exoskeletons, and that means we can actually get robot assemblies next. We're going to grab that. We're about to finish planetary unification. You can see techs are starting to go fast now. I want to do the first contact speed. There's so many first contacts, and I need that influence to keep expanding. We want to get a good base at the start of the game that will set us up nicely. Tech build's coming on. We're absolutely going to want to build all of these workshops as soon as possible. They're very, very, very good. We probably do want to try and get some pops over here as well. Goodbye all civilians on Earth, just to buff it up a bit more. 400. Now we do have factions. This usually happens around year 10 once you meet someone. These factions give you some unity based on how much they like you, how many pops are in each group. It's a bit complicated, but essentially make your factions like you. We're going to promote them both. Is there anything we can do to make them like us? Benevolent subjugation policy, benevolent subjugation policy. Let's go to policies and whack that on then. They're up to 90% approval. Pops will slowly join these now. We can get tradition again. We'll just keep going down statecraft. We may as well finish it so we can get another ascension perk. I'm just going to keep building mining districts. The more minerals get, the more we can build up these planets. And we now have gotten those science jobs. So we're up to 176 science. I wasn't too far off, but we should be able to actually get through some of these lower techs. We'll just keep building city districts. Give us consumer goods, alloys, tech, unity jobs, all the good stuff. Trade is starting to dip a little bit, so is energy. That's fine. We can sell some more food. And our agenda can now go on. We're not going to actually pop this yet. We'll go over to policies and edicts and whack on education campaign. This gives us 10% leader experience gain. And this also applies to the agenda, giving us XP. So we click that. We get level ups. Let's see what Walter can do for us. More minerals from jobs or cancel agenda speed. Cancel agenda speed means more XP. So let's go that. Ministry of Defense here. Happiness, defense platforms, or sublight speed and damage. Since this is quite early in the game, I'm going to go for the happiness. Now, let's go ahead and expand the council, as more council members means more XP. We're also getting that 40% bonus to unity from Evolving Society, so we're up to 158. It's pretty nice. Can't lie. We've also got another planet under our control. There is a balancing act you want to do. I don't know if we want to settle that yet, as we don't really even have enough pops to fill up this world to get the best pop growth speed. So maybe it's worth waiting a little bit to actually settle more planets. Maybe we wait till we get robots assembling to actually help with the pop growth while we start filling up these planets, as we've actually produced as many jobs as we can work here. But we can level up Ferris here. Let's give you archaeological speed. They're not on the council, so there's no point giving them council agenda speed as of yet. And also they did just get blocked by apostles, which are it's just bubbles and space whales. So what I am going to do now is actually move around some of our governors. Since our capital is producing us tech, I want a scientist there. Let's hire a scientist. Leader lifespan will do. So per level, this scientist is going to give us more research from jobs, 2%. Then on our mining world here, that's producing us resources, we can put Kerbo, who's giving us more basic and advanced resources. Our tech world is getting the buffs from our scientists, so we won't add anyone there. We also don't have enough scientists to fill that yet, so that will just have to do. We've just got that research speed. Let's go for research station output. Why not? More tech. Since the scientist is blocked, we may as well go survey the planet that we can't get yet, and we'll keep expanding on the more, and then Banango. And grab some more influence by sending out the call, and we can finish statecraft off. More cancel agenda effect duration, less empire size. We are currently still below 100, which is very nice. We can get another ascension perk. Now I think the only thing really quite good for us right now is either executive vigor, 15% council agenda speed, which means more XP, an edict fund, or we could get 10% more unity for the rest of the game and more governing ethics attraction. This is a very hard choice. Unity's at 200. Good leaders can actually give us quite a lot. So I'm actually going to go for executive vigor here. I'm going to build another city district. Our consumer goods are starting to lack, so we're going to need to produce more here, and we can do a society research. Let's get that pop growth speed. Pops means prizes. On our capital, we have one more city district we can build. We will wait for the minerals to do that, I guess. Oh, are they constructing here? No. Okay, let's try and get that pre-FTL. Having an observation station above a pre-FTL is very nice, as with first contact, you can get some cool techs. We have finished robot assembly plants. What engineering research should we go for? Habitability is pretty good, to be honest. Let's go for that. And now we want to prioritize going to pop assembly and building those robot assembly plants, as they're just going to be artificial workforce for us to work more jobs, more pops, more jobs. You know where this is going, as we're not actually working everything down here. And to be honest, we don't have civilians anymore. So let's go over to species tab, set species rights, and let's go off utopian abundance, as civilians producing unity and research is not helping us. We're spending a lot of consumer goods. So let's go back down to decent conditions to save on consumer goods, and let's keep exploring with our science ship. That should help our consumer goods. Yes, we no longer need to buy consumer goods. We do, however, have to buy some energy, so let's do that instead. That's going to balance out our economy nicely, and we don't lose any unity or science. Now, I can't remember what the max sell price is, so I'm going to check on the Discord. It's 64. We can go up by 4 here. Every little helps. Okay, we have got to Banago. Very nice. Let's build the observation post and then mining stations everywhere. We may as well get the free resources on those mining stations and stuff. So where can these Federation members expand? Only Freak, because AIs will only jump one system over you. So really we should come over, finish this surveying, and then come over to Freak, grab that. They're blocked. We need to then try and block this empire off so we can just have all of this later on in the game. We're basically trying to stop AI grabbing all your space, but expanding in an efficient way. Another tradition, what should we go next? That's the real question. Again, supremacy is good if you're going to war. We're trying to play quite peaceful and build our economy for the later game. Discovery for tech could be really good in reducing that research upkeep, but then also prosperity for just raw resources, and resources from jobs applies to science. Reducing infrastructure costs is really good. We could go expansion, but it's quite late for that now. I'm going to go prosperity. It's just generally good for our economy. We have a bunch of planets that we need to build a lot of stuff on. Like on this planet, we definitely need that luxury resident for the amenities. As you can see, that's lacking, meaning our stability goes down. So we're getting less resources from jobs. Mark that down, and they will be happy that we don't need to work these colonist jobs. We can get more tech, which are up to 200, which is pretty nice. You can actually get through techs now. And I did say gene clinks was quite good, didn't I? However, they cost exotic gases, and we don't have those. I still think we may as well go it. None of those other techs were that good, so we'll grab that. Okay, we need those robot assembly plants. I forgot. We need just so many minerals, damn it. I'm just going to wait because I'll forget. We're building stuff as well with construction ships. The minerals are going down. That's annoying. Let's get more energy from jobs. But you can see we are producing 2 monthly mechanical pop assembly from our roboticists. So we're getting +2, which is pretty nice. These are just going to slowly fill up our jobs, and over time will pay off. We're obviously losing 100 workers, but you can see we're already up to 6. That'll pay off in no time. Okay, give me robot assembly plant. There we go. A research agreement. So what does this mean? We can learn this many techs and share that many techs. Doesn't mean we get this much research per month. It means we'll get a 50% bonus to techs they've researched, and they'll get 50% bonus to techs we've researched. There's not many. I'm going to decline this. It also costs influence, which, as you can tell, we're lacking. So our science ship here is trapped by this hostile intel, but I don't think there's anything in there. There isn't. So we switch to passive down here, which means they're not going to just run away from all enemies. Now, there is a hostile here. Are they coming straight for the system? Maybe. We'll just move out the way for them. We'll go over here. And if they come through, that means we can go around them. We also have a commercial pact. I'm actually going to take this as our trade's low, and commercial pacts give us unity as well because it's trade. And then we also have a Federation Association offer. I'm not going to take it yet. I don't want to join the Federation. It's a bit annoying to do things, but it could be good if we are threatened. It's also a migration treaty. Not going to take it. Our pops will probably go off to their planet, not ours, and I don't want that. There is a fleet called zombies coming straight at us. Really? I think you are dead, my science ship friend. I'm going to get rid of Walter here. I want to keep him alive. Oh, are they going to fight that? Oh my gosh, this is insane. Yeah, they're fighting the amoebas that have been annoying us. Do they run away? Do we survive? We might actually. Yes. And we've made contact with them. The Orban Star Hunters. They're fanatic purifiers. So that Federation? Oh, this is very bad as we're going more tech rushy. As for association status, I think we actually have to do this. They will kill us. They want war and blood, so we're not going to give that to them. We will join this Federation Association, which gives us a non-aggression pact. I really, really do want to eventually join them. Honestly, since these guys like us the most, we're going to do the research agreement. This is going to build trust which is going to make them like us more, so we can then ask to join the Federation. Let's also do the migration treaty. Influence doesn't matter if we're dead. Let's go and get another tradition. We can reduce infrastructure build costs, which is going to add up over time. Speaking of, let's get that robot assembly plant. You can see it's now 540 instead of 600. We can slowly start building up these worlds, getting our economy going. We're starting to research those techs. It's going very well. Let's get naval capacity as we might need it. We can also redo our research agreement thingy with the Enclave. Absolutely. We're at 47 opinion. I want to know the mysteries. I want to know the mysteries of the universe. Tell us something new, which gave us 10 opinion. We come back to diplomacy and we can recruit one of their scientists. We have to give them influence and energy. We'll unlock a council position that will give us more researcher output and less researcher upkeep. Let's recruit them, which by the way, we're expanding our council so we can use that. Now this leader is very good. They give survey speed, research speed, bunch of stuff, and they're level 5. You are absolutely going on the council, Dr. Zib. We're at 4 out of 3 scientists, which does mean the XP gained is going to be lower. I'm going to keep them though. Let's put Dr. Zib, I think, on our capital. Yeah, I want that level 5 research experience. And on Sirius, we'll put Alice. We also should give this the research wheel designation, which will lower upkeep. Very nice. Okay, we can get the energy grid as the next tech. This is very good as it gives 20% technician output. It also gives us capacity subsidies edict, giving us 50% output. That's a must take. And here, let's go after business. That'll help if we need to go to war. Another commercial pack. Honestly, I'm taking these now. Economy first. We don't want to die. Research agreement. I'm not going to take multiple of those. They don't stack. I'm going to build that medical center now just for a bit more pop growth. And then we'll build another city district, the final one that we can. How are these other planets doing? Okay, I don't think it's worth on a smaller planet to build the clinic yet. Just keep expanding it. Let's grab freaks so they can't create border gore. And we'll try and block off this fanatic purifier, but they might kill us. So who knows? Another commercial pact. I am taking these. I don't care. We're up to 52 trade now. Oh, and they're a branch office people. Beautiful. That just means they're going to build buildings in us, which is going to buff us up. I will take that 100%. We can also build another starbase. We'll build this on the border as a peace offering, completely as a peace offering. We're also getting observation and insights now. I'm going to favor insights, which lowers what the station provides, but we progress quicker, meaning we can get more techs, hopefully, which are really powerful. And we can now expand the council, still get education campaigns on. You can turn this off if your energy dies, but we're fine. Let's pop that. People level up. Our leader has negative council gender speed, which is very sad, but let's give our leader more trade from jobs and let's pop up keep. Ministry of State. Kind of want to do the same. Yeah, stack that. Then we can expand our council. Now we have the 2 from our civics, but the crate is so much better. Let's get that. Let's put Dr. Zib there, get Walter back. We're now getting so much more research stuff, which is going to help us a bunch. We can do another agenda. Council XP gain? Sure. Level these up as much as we can. Another society done. I'll just keep taking the habitability, I guess. If we can get to 100, we have a no negatives, which is more efficient. So funnily enough, on our research world, the robots aren't working the research jobs as they can't work big jobs yet. We'll get techs that allow them to do that, but we'll just keep them as civilians, I guess. Why not? We're going to build another city district, the final one, to get more tech going. How's the pop growth now? We're at +4 from pops, 10% from jobs and genome mapping and fertility preachers. So we're starting to ramp up that pop growth. We just have a lot of jobs now that we want to fill, but we don't have the pops to do it. With afterburners, we may as well lower Corvette cost in case someone comes and attacks us. Another tradition available. Let's reduce planetary infrastructure upkeep. That's going to help our energy a lot, especially as we get into the game later on. And there's so many planets down here too. What is going on? That'll be our next expansion, I guess. You got monthly unity -5. Why are we getting so many negative traits? This is so sad. Oh well, we've now got capacity subsidies, global energy management. Very, very nice. I am going to pick blue lasers as I know it unlocks disruptors, which are very good for combat. And if we come over to government, policies and edicts, we can now activate capacity subsidies, giving us 50% output for 0.5 upkeep. They will make more than the upkeep. It's ridiculous that exists, but it does. Okay, I can't ask to join the Federation. I'm not going to do it yet. These people are not a big issue yet. I'm actually going to break the migration treaty and research agreement to get some influence again. I got a bit panicky, okay? It happens to the best of us. Probably stop selling as many food. Our trade is very fine. We come over to Earth and the holdings. You can see they built a commercial forum, giving us 10% more trade from jobs, and it gives us 200 traders. So they're just producing a bunch more trade for us. Now we can't actually build any more districts, We do have some building slots, but I'm saving these for rare resources when we unlock them. But we can actually upgrade the generator now because of that tech we got, which is going to give us more technician jobs per district, and it will unlock building slots to give us a bonus to it. So I'm going to do that as it's completely worthwhile. We have enough minerals since we've cured that down here. Tech wheels building. We're just starting to ramp up now. We've kind of eked out as much efficiency as we can from what we started with. Now we're kind of waiting for the growth to catch up now and keep expanding. Now you can see I'm just surveying towards the planets like I've been doing before. It's quite lucky we've not found an empire down there. Bit weird. I should probably take this to block them. We'll do that. We'll do that first. The Admiral, give us more ship fire damage. With the alloys we have, I think we definitely should build some corvettes. We're going to spam red lasers with one mass driver, as they won't have too much shield, but they'll have more armor and hull. Let's go for more armor and whack the afterburner on. Nothing else we can change, but we have those corvettes now. Let's keep exploring though, but let's build some corvettes. I don't want to be killed. We've built up a bunch of alloys. We'll start building them just in case. This is why I've been permanently buying 10 alloys. Stockpiling them for a future use. But we are actually at year 20. What's going to happen in the next part? Well, you can actually watch that right now. It will be a members only series, mainly because series don't do too well, especially long form let's plays like this. And I wanted to do one. I wanted to make it work time-wise, and I think it's a great option for the $5 tier member. On top of that, you get to submit empires that are showing up in this game, as the Snugglefish Shipping Alliance is a member-submitted empire. You also get to submit names for fleets and ships. You'll also get early access to regular content, which is not going anywhere. There'll still be the same quality of videos. This is literally just extra for those $5 member tiers. I'll see you in that one. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.